Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 816 Podcasting presents The People's Podcast. This is where we discuss all things wrestling. I am Glenn.
And I'm Anthony. Very first episode, very exciting.
Yeah, this is very exciting.
So we got some big news this morning.
Yep.
Bailey, out. Hurt her shoulder.
Yeah.
Not a work, not a shoot. Out of SummerSlam. This leaves big questions for Alexa Bliss. SummerSlam opponent. They're supposed to figure it out tonight on Raw. What are your thoughts?
Well, like you said, we got two matches tonight on Raw, and then the winners of those two matches face off next week to decide who faces Alexa at SummerSlam. I mean, I feel like there's only two options here, right? It's either Nia Jax or it's Sasha.
Has to be.
Right.
Or a triple threat. So you use all of your main.
You can do that, sure, because I guess I figured it would have been Sasha versus Nia at SummerSlam, right? Call up Asuka. No. Bring Asuka up.
Oh my god, that'd be insane. I don't think that would happen.
No, probably not.
You'd probably have to wait till after WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't know. They're talking about doing another draft after SummerSlam.
They do have history of bringing up a champion. Kevin Owens.
As still the champion.
Yeah.
Paige.
Yeah.
So
there's a history, but that's a long shot.
Yeah. I guess the triple threat match almost makes the most sense, so that's something.
It uses all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rest of the girls are used to being left
off. I guess you could spin it. Nia helps Alexa keep the title with their whole thing that they've got going on. What is it? Team Rude? Is that what they're calling themselves?
Yeah.
I'd
like to see Nia get the nod. I know there's unfinished business between Sasha and Alexa, but I think it's Nia's time.
Oh man, she's awful.
Nia needs to become a face.
No.
I agree. I think so. It's the only way for Sasha to turn heel.
She's
so much better as a heel, and we need to see this Bailey. They were clearly going to do Sasha versus Bailey until Alexa came over, and then they had to leave heel.
Yeah.
And they put a stop to that. When Charlotte went over to SmackDown and left a void, it looked like they wanted Sasha to step in.
Yeah, I think it's obvious that Sasha needs to be a heel, and all signs were pointing towards possibly her interfering at SummerSlam.
There's too many heels. That's why we need someone to turn face.
So on Raw, who are our heels? Alexa and Nia?
And everyone else.
Emma.
Not named Dana Brooke.
What
do you think about you keep Nia Jax and you keep Sasha at SummerSlam, and then you have Emma with a black horse comes in to face Alexa?
I could see that. Have you seen her Twitter lately?
It'd be a swerve,
she's tweeting Kurt Angle, give Emma a chance. She tweeted a picture of her, a doll of her and a doll of Jason Jordan. And Kurt Angle tweeted back something like, I don't think this is going to help you at all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
she's not the first Raw diva, or I guess female superstar, to get upset on Twitter and post it. Nia Jax was talking look at SmackDown using its entire roster. Yeah.
Right. Which is funny because I always thought that Raw's before Charlotte went over, I always thought Raw's women's division was stronger than SmackDown's, and they've completely done a 180 where SmackDown as a whole show used to be better than Raw. But now it's Raw is better than SmackDown. SmackDown's starting to pick up some more, but
it was Raw had the better talent, but SmackDown utilized it better.
Right,
because one storyline going, SmackDown had 3.
Well, SmackDown was almost like a main roster NXT in that it focused on the wrestling, where Raw focused on the storylines and stuff like that.
If Raw realizes that it's a wrestling show, SmackDown would be so much better.
Yeah,
we're getting off topic here. Let's talk about the other big news today: the Revival. Out of SummerSlam as well. Sean Dawson, torn bicep.
Scott Dawson.
And that's huge.
Yeah, They're
getting into a rivalry with the Hardy Boys.
It's obviously not good, especially coming right back after Dash was out for so long with the broken jaw.
So they debuted Raw after Mania.
Right.
Very little time on TV since.
Yeah, they haven't been able to pick up any ground, and it seemed like they were finally getting there, and then bam, this injury, and I'm telling you, this hurts them because
it really does. They got so much heat when they originally came in and hurt Kofi.
Right, and Vince, he man, if he doesn't think he can rely on you, you're slipping down the card. That's it. And they've been on TV maybe. God, it feels like maybe 10 times total since Raw,
which is 6 months.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah,
or
since
April,
Mania.
So.
Mania was April.
So not quite.
Right.
We're like 4 months out, but still, it's huge.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for them. Now, how long will he be out? Torn bicep. I mean, what does that give him? Because they haven't given a timetable yet. They've just said he's for sure out for SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, there's no way he's gonna be there August 20th.
And do they do what they did when Dash got hurt? Are they going to keep Dash off of TV while Scott's gone? I mean,
I don't think they do. The last time Dash got hurt, they just sidelined the whole team.
Right? Yeah, you never saw Scott Dawson on television.
They're not really interested in being singles competitors like Jason Jordan or Chad Gable. I don't think they keep Dash on TV.
Right. So I had this on this topic really quick, and then we can move on. I had this idea when Dash Wilder was out, and they could do it here with Scott Dawson, where when Wilder was out, I wanted them to like pair somebody with Scott Dawson like every week, someone different, and I wanted them to win and pick up steam, and then that's when the other person from the Revival comes back, attacks that person, and.
Speaking of that, I was really hoping they were behind the Enzo Amore attacks. Because that was a way to keep them heat while keeping them off TV. But there was subtle,
you'd see him in the background.
Evidence
yeah.
Suggested it was them, and you're like, that would make sense. It keeps them active while they're out.
Right.
And then they come back with heat right off the bat, and then they did the swerve of Cass, which was a mistake.
Well, we'll get to that. I think Enzo, his problems have a little bit to do with that.
Let's talk about the really big news. Let's talk about Jon Jones versus Brock Lesnar. UFC 214. Saturday, July 29th at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Jon Jones knocks out Daniel Cormier round 3.
Right.
Picks up the microphone and says, Brock Lesnar, if you want to know what it feels like to get your ass kicked by a guy who weighs 40 pounds less than you, meet me in the octagon.
Right.
And then Brock Lesnar responds on Twitter, which never happens.
Yeah, no.
Be careful what you wish for, young man. This is obviously a shoot, people.
There's no way.
No way this is possible.
Because, okay, so they're talking, this pay-per-view would be in December, right?
Right.
Okay, so Lesnar's contract with WWE isn't up until after Mania next year.
Right.
He's still suspended.
It expires in April next year.
Right. He's still suspended, right, from the UFC?
Yes.
So.
Well, not from the UFC, but from USADA.
Right. So he'd have to go back into the pool and.
Well, I guess it'd be the Athletic Commission. But still, the thing is he retired halfway through his suspension.
Right.
So he would have to re-enter the pool, and he's got 5 months left.
Right.
So, timetable. He goes in the pool today. He comes back at the turn of the year. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania season, not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way. When Paul Heyman comes into the ring and says, we're going to quit, we're going to leave WWE, that's just WWE trying to swerve you. This is not going to happen. He's not going to drop the belt. Brock Lesnar is still being locally advertised at No Mercy as the Universal Champion, and he's still on the books to face Roman Reigns in April at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is either a way to get more money out of WWE,
which is what I think it is.
You really
That's what I think it is. Yeah, because I think it started off as a shoot. I really do. But WWE's been known to turn shoots into works. So I think it's him trying to get more money out of his new contract.
So let me ask you this. If this is Brock Lesnar trying to get more money out of his contract, what does Jon Jones get out of it?
Man, I don't know. Extra publicity?
For him, this makes so much sense, though. This is a big money fight.
Right.
Brock Lesnar is one of the biggest draws UFC's ever had.
Sure.
I think, his fight with Kane, his fight with Carwin, and his fight with Frank Mir II at UFC 100. Or the third. Was it his third fight or second fight with Mir? I don't know. But it was up until UFC 200 was the biggest draw.
Right.
And
So-
it was thought to be unbreakable in the UFC.
Oh yeah, in his last fight with Mark Hunt, obviously.
Mark Hunt was
right. So it
what?
netted Brock Lesnar $5 million. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a big money fight, and it makes so much sense for John Jones because no one else can draw like that unless he goes up and maybe face.
So here's my question: do we care because it's Brock Lesnar, or do we care because it's John Jones?
We care about both. Like,
Really?
bring in from both fan bases, it'd be a huge fight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
It's not going to do Floyd Connor money.
Well, no,
Nothing's gonna do that.
but I mean, me personally, I think it's a work. I don't think he goes back.
I agree on that.
I don't.
The casual fan doesn't know this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
100%
I just don't see what Brock Lesnar gets out of this from a strictly financial situation. He'll
Big payday just like John.
get more if he stays in WWE, and he'll have to not get his ass kicked. He'll get to work once a year, and
Brock Lesnar does not think he's going to get his ass kicked. He truly believes that like he dominated and then he got sick and then he lost. Like he truly believes that, and that's why he came back to face Mark Hunt. He thought he had unfinished business. He truly believes he's the baddest man on the planet.
no, I mean, and hell, he may be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, but
WWE is going to pay him a lot of money for just a few shows a year.
to not, and here's
no danger.
and. With his contract still being going until April, I know with his last fight, WWE wasn't happy with the way that UFC promoted SummerSlam, right? Because that was the big thing: is he can wrestle or he can fight for you, but you got to give us some publicity for SummerSlam. And I'm pretty sure the UFC was at 200, right? There was like one banner that said "Watch SummerSlam this date," and I know WWE was not particularly happy about that. So for him, even let's say that his suspension got reversed, whatever happened, he could fight at the end of this year. I don't think WWE would let him strictly because of that.
Well, he was under contract when he fought Mark Hunt.
Right, but that was the thing was WWE was like, we'll let him fight for you guys, but you have to do something for us. And for us was you have to promote SummerSlam. And all they did to promote SummerSlam was they put the one banner down at the bottom
Are you
of.
sure that that's all it was? Because after UFC 200, Ronda Rousey shows up at WrestleMania. So, secondly, now we have Chris Cyborg and Becky Lynch. A lot of people think this is WWE cashing in. This is WWE getting theirs back for letting Brock fight at 200. So let's talk about this. Cyborg tweets before UFC 214,
Right.
And she tweets to Becky, "If I win tonight, I meet you at SummerSlam."
Right.
Becky Lynch, minutes later, posts a video saying, "You mess with fire, you're gonna get burned."
Sure.
Okay, so is this a shoot or is this real? I think this is more real.
Really?
I really do.
See, I don't. I think this is a work too, because I mean, at least with Brock and Jones, Brock is a UFC fighter. Becky Lynch isn't. She's dating a UFC fighter,
But this is not a UFC match.
which is what makes it a work because WWE is all a work.
No, but I mean, like, I think it's gonna happen. Is what I meant.
But okay,
I
no.
don't think that this is.
You don't think like their heat is real with each other?
Of course not.
Okay.
I think it's gonna happen. A lot of people think
At
this is more
SummerSlam?
publicity. I really do. I think at least there's gonna be a confrontation at SummerSlam. Like maybe she shows up in the crowd, whatever. But I think this is gonna happen. I don't see why it wouldn't. And WWE's even promoting it. They on their website they have videos talking about it, and they're teasing it too. I think this is for sure gonna happen. It sucks that there's not more build up.
Yeah.
Like
It's all Twitter, right?
yeah,
their whole
just
thing.
A few weeks out, yeah, their Twitter. Being
But
crazy.
my favorite one was when Cyborg said, if you're smart, Triple H, you don't let Becky Lynch anywhere near the ring with me. Ireland can't handle another star losing this summer. That was great. But then
terrible.
Becky hit it back with, are you sure Dana would let you, seeing as he doesn't seem to let you do much else? So their Twitter feud is gold right now.
Their Twitter feud is great. I love Becky Lynch.
I would love to see it at SummerSlam. I don't know. It might just stay on Twitter. I honestly don't know.
Okay, I think it happens, but let's get rid of the speculation. We know Natalya's facing Naomi
for the title at SummerSlam, right?
For the SmackDown Live Championship. Now I assumed before this beef with Cyborg that would leave Becky to face Charlotte.
Would it though? I mean, 2 faces. That's not. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean they wrestled a match just 2 weeks ago.
Sure, for the number 1 contendership though, right?
They don't. SummerSlam's a big card. It's the second biggest card of the year outside of Mania. You need big matches. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. It's a big match. 2 of the 4 horsewomen. Who else could Charlotte face? If let's go with the assumption that Becky Lynch is facing Cyborg.
Okay.
Who does that leave for Charlotte? You can't leave Charlotte off the pay-per-view. She's the biggest women's wrestler today, in my opinion.
Sure.
So, who does that leave her with? Tamina or Carmella?
Carmella, probably.
Or
I mean, it could be Tamina, although
it's not Lana. If it's Lana,
I mean,
it can't be.
It could be.
It can't be.
It 100% could be Lana.
You shut your mouth.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying that 100% seems like something WWE would do. That seems like a road that they are not afraid to go down.
I'm saying Charlotte deserves better, and she's in a weird spot right now.
Well, she definitely deserves better, but I mean, honestly, in my opinion, you have two I want to call them divas, but they're not divas anymore. You have 2 women on SmackDown who, and Becky Lynch and Charlotte, are clearly way better than every other woman on the roster. The fact that Naomi's still champion with those 2 on the roster is kind of baffling to me.
And she's never really defended it.
Right.
She's beat Lana 3 times.
Yeah, she beat Lana 3 times, exactly.
Right.
Like,
she sat on the sides for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Battleground, she didn't do anything besides beat Lana because there's the Fatal 5.
Right.
So she's really kept the belt out of
And she won it at Mania,
default.
right? Was it Mania?
She won it at Mania in Orlando.
Right.
So she's kept it out of default. They're not really making her defend it that much.
Yeah.
Her reign needs to, I think
it's been lackluster to say the least.
Putting the glow on the belt.
That
kind of cool.
No, see, once they did that to me told me that they did not care at all. That they turned that belt into a prop and it meant nothing more. The minute they did that. That's how I saw it.
That's how Natalya saw it too.
Yeah.
You're team Natalya.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we can put a Natalya in there, right, as one of the best women wrestlers in WWE.
She's definitely one of the more experienced.
But as far as who Charlotte faces at SummerSlam, I could definitely see it being Lana. I could see them doing like a fatal 4-way women's match or a tag match or something just to get the women on the card.
You need to shut your mouth. I don't like the way this is going. Let's move on. We had what many consider to be a dream match: Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, it was great, right?
Completely did not expect Nakamura to go over. It makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, everyone was predicting for weeks that John Cena would face Jinder Mahal.
And he'd be the one to take the title off Mahal.
But most people don't know John Cena has a movie coming up.
The Bumblebee spinoff or the Transformers. Yeah,
that's right.
So he's got a major role in that movie. Yeah, I mean it makes sense to put Nakamura over in that match. Do you think there's going to be any heat on Nakamura for the finish, or not the finish, but for when he dropped Cena on his neck?
It seemed completely accidental.
Oh, it was, and he apologized after the match.
He apologized in the ring.
Yeah.
After the match. You could see it in the ring. I was watching the replay today,
and
he was laying on the ground after he pinned him. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any heat on him for it.
Because, yeah.
So, where does this leave Cena? Is it because what happened after SmackDown went off the air?
Baron Corbin comes in, attacks Shinsuke Nakamura. Cena comes back to the ring, beats up Baron Corbin, AAs him through the announce table. So, question: does this extend the feud with Nakamura and Corbin, or does this start a feud with Cena and Corbin?
Yes.
To both.
To both, yeah. Because I think at SummerSlam we're gonna get Cena versus Baron Corbin. I think that's the way they're gonna go. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Great match,
Because
by the way. But we've already seen it on free TV.
sure, I mean, but we saw Cena and Nakamura on free TV, and
Shouldn't have.
no,
I've been paid to see that.
yeah. So I think that's because if that's not where they go, what does Corbin do? What does Cena do at SummerSlam? Those two make the most sense to put together, and then I think. Do you put Corbin over in that match?
I think you'd have to.
Does
Cena's so willing to put anyone over at this stage in his career.
Yeah.
He gave 2 AAs to Shinsuke, second and third against Josh. Takes the pen. He won phenomenal forearm, put him away.
right?
The guy's willing to.
I think
put people over.
yeah, I think you have to put Corbin over Cena in that match.
Remember at Royal Rumble, he gave.
Oh, I remember. I was there.
He gave AJ Styles like 2 AAs and like a super AA.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And then he lets him finish him with one phenomenal forearm. That guy's a trooper, man. I don't see why people say Cena.
Well, at Royal Rumble, Cena won at Rumble. That's when he got his 16th title.
Yeah, and tied Ric Flair.
Yeah, held it for a month before losing it to Bray Wyatt.
What am I talking about? Because I'm not talking about SummerSlam, because that was our first encounter, but it had a faulty finish. It was
I
I'm
don't.
talking about the one.
Did they wrestle at another pay-per-view?
No, you're right. It's just the 2.
Yeah, I think it is.
So when did he finish him with the forearm?
I don't know. SmackDown, Raw.
I guess it had to be. Man.
I don't know. So
I'm just saying.
yeah.
It doesn't bury people.
No,
He's got
not
a reputation for it.
not. I mean, maybe earlier in his career. I don't want to say earlier than now, but he's definitely willing to put people over. So, with that being said, moving on, what happens with Nakamura versus the lackluster reigns of Jinder Mahal?
You think it's lackluster?
I mean, don't you? He's faced Randy Orton 4 times.
I really thought so. I think he's just now coming into his own. He's starting to
Well,
gain traction. But the fact that it takes 4 people,
yeah,
one guy,
yeah.
he's such a weak champion. Oh, excuse me.
Yes,
He's
that's
such a weak.
well, and see, that's what I mean when I say. Now I get it. He's a heel champion. Heel champions rarely win by themselves.
Yeah, but 4 on.
Yeah.
And you barely escape.
I mean, did you after the Punjabi prison match when Khali comes and helps him? See, Khali kept grabbing the title from Jinder and holding it up. He wouldn't let him hold up his own title. I don't know. Is he back full time? I hope not.
I don't think so. I think we would have seen him on SmackDown.
Yeah. So okay. So who goes over in this match? Nakamura or Jinder Mahal?
Well, the whole reason Jinder Mahal went from a jobber to instantly WWE champion overnight was because WWE is trying to get into India. Got
Right.
1 billion people. They want that market. They want that business.
Sure.
And I think it's too early to cut it short.
Really?
I
So-
think Jinder Mahal wins.
You have Jinder Mahal go over Nakamura.
It's going to be funny. He's not going to get a clean win. But the whole reason they're marketing Jinder and pushing Jinder so hard is to get the Indian market. And I think it's too early to take that away.
Well, I mean, when he originally won the title, the rumor was he was going to hold it all the way until Royal Rumble of next year. I hope that's not the case.
It's such a thing WWE would do. They're clearly putting business over what the people want.
Right. You know, it's funny when Jinder first won the title, I for some reason I was all in. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's get something new, something different, something we haven't seen before. But now, man, you know, nothing against Randy Orton, but his matches.
They're not AJ Styles.
Yeah, exactly. And when you face him 4 times, you know, 4 pay-per-views in a row, whatever it was, 2 or 3 of them had the exact same finish. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to get behind that
those
title
are
run.
some of the worst matches, man.
I-
As far as like the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Champion, being on the line, and you just don't care. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And you can even tell the way SmackDown's been operating lately. They're making the U.S. title out to be almost
The main title bigger than the world
they
title.
really are. It's
I mean,
headlining most of the time.
It's unbelievable to me that you have AJ Styles and Kevin Owens feuding for a secondary title.
Right. This is clearly
it makes no sense.
Let's talk about AJ Styles, Kevin Owens.
All right.
They just got announced for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
As well. Shane McMahon, the guest referee. Obviously, it looks like they're trying to go down to KO. Shane O'Mac.
This is leading to a match with each other at Mania, right?
So, you know who Vince Russo is?
No, obviously.
Okay, so he was like, he's notorious for bashing KO.
Yeah, for being an idiot.
Yeah. He was talking about KO's physique next to Shane O'Mac's physique.
Right.
How one's ripped as shit.
Yeah.
KO
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that, obviously. It's such bullshit. Nobody cares.
No.
KO's made himself out to look like a monster. You know?
Right. Yeah. Kevin Owens' talent is clearly way better than half the rosters.
Easily one of the best wrestlers.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, without question.
AJ Styles might be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely you could make an argument for that, and I don't.
They wrestled so much, and I'm still excited for this match.
Yeah, but again, it's for the secondary title. It's for the U.S. title, which, I mean, at least it's for something, right? At least they're not just wrestling each other on free TV over nothing, I guess.
So let's make the prediction. 100% AJ Styles wins the SummerSlam. It puts it into their feud. It's going to be some kind of something where KO can get upset with Shane.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
A fast count that's not really a fast count, or he disqualifies Kevin Owens for doing something.
Funny, like where the ref got poked in the eye and
yeah.
see his shoulders up.
Yeah, I mean, the ref is Shane though, so
that was awesome.
I don't know. Could you see Shane attacking Kevin Owens, or Kevin Owens attacking Shane during the match?
Shane, but not the other way.
Yeah. I think it's clear Styles wins that match, but where does Styles go from there?
Bigger and better things.
Who's bigger and better on Raw than Kevin Owens right now?
SmackDown, but
SmackDown. Yeah, sorry.
Well, maybe not bigger and better, but on the newer pastures, he could feud with Corbin if Corbin doesn't cash in.
Which
you think so?
I do. I think he cashes in, but I think he loses. I don't think he actually wins.
Insane. There's only been one time, right?
Two?
Two?
Cena, Damian Sandow.
Oh.
Both cashed in, both lost. But I could see it being
very rare. And if someone like Corbin, it's really like
sure, but they could do it. He cashes in, he loses, and this turns him into a bigger monster. Because Corbin should be SmackDown's Braun Strowman, and that he should just run through the roster if you want to build him up right. So I think that's the way they go about doing it.
Completely off topic. I love that he eliminated Braun Strowman in the Royal Rumble.
Right, exactly.
Okay. But
and Undertaker, right? Wasn't he the one that eliminated Undertaker?
Well, Roman Reigns.
Oh, it was Roman. You're right.
Which is what started the WrestleMania.
Right. Okay, maybe it was just Braun Strowman I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he came in.
Yeah.
Strowman, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. Kansas City boy. Yeah.
City boy, that's right.
Yep.
Gold Glove winner.
So that's I do think he cashes in though.
I think if he cashes in, he wins it.
Man, see, okay, so here's my thing. Another reason why I don't think is because I don't think I only think he cashes in if Nakamura wins. I don't think he cashes in on Jinder Mahal. So if Nakamura wins, I don't want Nakamura to win the title and then be champion for 1 minute. I don't like the sound of that because he almost feels like not necessarily a transitional champion, but it doesn't look good. So
I think this win over John Cena is just going to propel Nakamura. I think the way it did AJ Styles when he beat John Cena at SummerSlam, I think this is going to be the year of Nakamura.
So then you don't have him lose the title a minute after winning it.
I'm not saying he loses. I'm not saying Corbin cashes in.
Okay. But if he does cash in, do you think he cashes in on Nakamura or on Jinder Mahal? Because I don't think he cashes in if Jinder Mahal retains. Well, and win the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
Or he would cash in on, or during the match, maybe.
I guess like they did with Seth at Mania.
Yeah, with Lesnar and Roman.
Yeah, and that way he can pin Jinder and it not feel
like Shinsuke lost it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
It'll
predict Money in the Bank cash-ins is ridiculous.
Yeah. I want to talk about what they're doing over on Raw with Finn.
Finn Balor.
What is going on with him?
Let's talk about the rise and fall of Finn Balor, okay? Look, he gets drafted
to Raw in the first.
Yeah, he gets drafted to Raw in the first round.
Right.
First day on Raw. His birthday, by the
way. Mm-hmm.
He wins the Fatal 4-Way and then pins Roman Reigns clean. Right after... This was when Roman Reigns never gets pinned.
Right.
Well, he's still kind of... when he was the Golden Boy. And goes on, becomes the Demon King, beats Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
Sure.
That should have been the main event.
Yeah.
That joke with Lesnar and Orton. Anywho. That should have been the main event. He beats Seth Rollins, injures his shoulder, has to relinquish the title the next night. Since then, he's come back and he's faced jobbers.
Elias Sampson.
Yeah. Now he's facing a mid-carder like Elias Sampson.
Right. Well, Bray Wyatt. He's in a feud with Bray Wyatt right now.
Right. But he was cleared to come back and was doing house shows before Mania.
Right. He could have been back for Mania.
He's one of their biggest stars. He wasn't on Mania. We've talked about this. It's been 4 months. He's been on TV facing jobbers. He was the only pay-per-view I think he's been on since Mania, which, by the way, he wasn't at Mania. The only pay-per-view, he was on Miz Talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Miz TV,
they're not
yeah.
even putting him on Raw-specific pay-per-view.
Right.
So now we finally have him going up against Bray Wyatt. This should be fun.
It should be
Hopefully, if they bring in the Demon King.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, I think they have to. A feud with Bray Wyatt doesn't seem like
crazy meteoric rise.
Right.
So what do we have now? Do they even trust him? What's going on?
I don't think they do. I think that's what it is because he got his rematch right for it. Wasn't it like in a Fatal 4-Way or something like that?
Yeah, with Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe. It was a Fatal 5-Way to determine who faces.
Okay, so were they considering that his rematch for never losing the title?
Yeah, that was stupid.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him. What I think they should do with him, I think he needs to enter a feud with The Miz. Because
The Miz is awesome.
Yeah, and nobody wants to see Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the 1800th time.
Well,
I mean, I understand what they're doing. They're building the Shield back up, right? Or halfway. Yeah. But I think he needs to enter a feud with the Miz. And because Finn Balor with the IC title, that sounds like a really good time.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Move on with that.
And I think you finally bring the club in with him. Because Gallows and Anderson are doing absolutely nothing. They've been in this little revival versus Hardy versus the club feud, right? But, and by the way, you turn them face for this. And you bring him in with Finn Balor.
He's only been doing that anyway.
Right, on house shows, you've been seeing it, and on Raw, I think they faced the Revival and worked as faces pretty much. So I think that's what you finally do. You finally bring them in with Finn Balor. He gets his Balor Club or whatever you want to call it. Well, they're not going to call it that, obviously, because it's...
What about moving... Man, do you really think they would do that? I was thinking...
I don't think they will. I think that's what they should do.
They could move Gallows and Anderson to...
SmackDown,
give them to AJ Styles.
Well, I mean, they started with Finn.
AJ Styles doesn't need it. Finn Balor could use the boost.
Yeah, Finn Balor... AJ Styles is doing just fine by himself. And Finn Balor really... He needs something to do right now because... If we've seen anything with any Bray Wyatt feud is that Bray Wyatt loses and then nothing ever comes from it. He definitely needs something more, and I think The Miz is what that should be.
I would love to see that. So are you already over this Balor Bray thing?
as shitty as this sounds, because I do like him, I'm over this Bray thing. Because you finally put the title on him, and he
gave it right back.
Yeah, to Randy Orton, exactly. So, and, I mean, he wins the title. He wins the title at Elimination Chamber, right? And then loses it to Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
30 days.
Yeah. So
when he got crowned, you thought this was going to be awesome.
Yeah, you thought they're finally getting behind this guy, and no, little did we know it was just to put the title on Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So I don't. That's
awful
what.
Decision making.
Oh God, it's so bad. And then
they gave him a rematch, but then they made it not for the title because he went to Raw.
It was the craziest thing ever. And they did the House of Horrors match, right? That was the rematch, wasn't it?
So bad.
God. Did you know that they actually filmed a lot of that here in Kansas City? Because they were here for I had no idea. Yeah, they were here when they were here for SmackDown. They filmed the parts where they're in the house and stuff like that. That was filmed here in Kansas City. So yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, but that's the only thing I can think of for Finn Balor. That's the only thing I can think of, unless you put him back in the main event, and I don't see that happening right now because the main event is it's really crowded.
It's not going to pay off.
No.
Brock Lesnar is going to keep the title.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. The one guy on the roster who doesn't need the title
is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because
keep it for a year and log it up for a year.
Who should be champion right now? Let me ask you that.
There's such a long list of deserving guys. You can find so many guys to put it on that it would just make stars out of them, like Balor, like Cesaro. Rollins could use another run with it.
Okay, so let's stay with
Face Rollins, by the way.
Let's stay with the top. What is it? 3 right now, and Roman, Braun, Samoa Joe.
Well,
of those 3, who should have the title?
Samoa Joe.
100%. I agree.
It makes Samoa Joe a star, and it solidifies him with those guys. Roman Reigns, everyone knows he's the golden boy.
Right.
Braun Strowman, he's booked so strongly, no one thinks he's a joke.
Yeah.
He's the best part of Monday Night Raw.
I mean, I'll tell you what, though. I will take any of them over Brock Lesnar because
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. But I hate how you don't have your main title on television every week. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make the title feel more special to me. It makes it feel less special because it goes 3 months. He won the title at WrestleMania, wasn't it? Was it WrestleMania when he won the Universal title?
Against Goldberg.
And then we didn't see him on TV for 2 months.
Yeah, we saw him the night after. He challenged Roman Reigns and then he disappeared.
Yeah. So I forgot about the title. I honestly forgot about it.
Yeah, it made the Intercontinental title more important.
Which is always good. The Intercontinental title is my favorite title.
But you're still having all the main event guys fight over nothing.
There's
no reward.
Yeah, none whatsoever, except for a yard.
Yeah, the one guy who doesn't need it.
Yeah, is the guy carrying it. It doesn't make sense. It's clearly it was written in his contract, right? If I come back, I get a run with a title that I'll defend once every 3 months. I don't know. I'll take any of them over Brock Lesnar as champion right now, though.
I agree with you. I think we're winding down here. We're coming up to minute 40.
I do, real quick, we don't have to touch this very long, but what do you think about Enzo Amore? What do you think's going on with him? Because there's apparently a lot of heat with this guy.
Oh, you're talking backstage?
Backstage, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing with Cass because he's a Trump supporter.
Yeah, well, but that's with the boys. The management is apparently still behind Cass, which is fine, but even the management is getting tired of Enzo. I guess something happened where Roman Reigns kicked him off of a tour bus because he was, I guess, being Enzo. The word is that the Enzo you see on TV is him 24/7.
Yeah, apparently he's a talker.
And it does not work backstage. I read a report today, though, that they're growing even more tired of him because apparently he brought some guests into the locker room, some non-wrestling people into the locker room, and they're taking pictures of the wrestlers and uploading them on social media, which is apparently a big no-no.
So we all knew when Cass and Enzo got split that Enzo's done.
Right.
Are you trying to say he's done with WWE altogether?
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall. I think Enzo will be future endeavored here before too long. If I had to guess.
I thought he was going to 205.
I could see them sending him back down to NXT maybe, because that was talk also after SummerSlam, sending some people back down to NXT. But
they got more talent than they've ever had.
yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for him. I think he's gone. I really do.
Well, we'll miss him.
We'll miss his mic.
His chance.
Yeah, but that's all I got for you.
All right, me too. Good first episode. Episode 1. Very exciting. Thanks for listening, guys, and please follow us at 816 Podcasting on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. We'll be uploading podcasts every week and almost daily when football season hits. Stay tuned for more wrestling, MMA, football, and esports. For everyone here at 816 Podcasting, thanks for listening, and good night.